Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest narration of the web series The Nature of Predators. If you're new to the series, there is a playlist listed down below in the description, and as always, I hope that you enjoy. Chapter 45. Memory Transcription Subject, Tassie, Bison Alien Liaison. Date, Standardized Human Time, August 11th, 2160. My heart was heavy as I reached Sapien Coalition Command, with the Civ kit safely at Ivrana. The frostiness of Aliska had simmered a bit, though I felt less than enthusiastic with the prospect of betraying General Neltor ahead of me. The smart R. Salmore had endeared himself to me, and tried to take care of me as the first contact situation spiraled out of control. While I had wounded my Thafki and Gojit friends, was turning on another friend going to improve things at all, even if it was to keep Bisons connected to the galaxy. We couldn't afford the might of the Sapien Coalition bearing down on us, and I believe Neltor would agree if he had the full context. He understood how much was at stake, and how vulnerable we were. Gathering allies was all that mattered. Still, I wanted to talk to someone, and it wouldn't be Heliska or Ludia. They'd shown little sympathy for my predicament, evidently. Dustin might have hated the Oxler and lied to me to begin with, but there was a reason he wasn't brought with Jones's entourage. Maybe I can confide in him. Someone has to help me, and I don't know who else to speak with. I can't involve other Bisons. Somehow, finding out how the Civkits learned of Tinsas seemed the easiest task. Of the three factions I was supposed to cross, Loxel had given me tons of reading homework. With alien texts that gave me a boatload of information to dissect. Combing through page-turners was a welcome distraction. Not all of them were even from the verbose playwright species, and I found myself eager for Bison literary critics to analyze them. Many plots were surprisingly relatable, such as the Takan book about venturing to far-off worlds in the diaspora, or the Dosa tale about the Federation descending from the heavens. I remember experiencing both of those things for the first time, and the awe I once felt. It would take a lot of effort to hold on to that feeling.
So, Tassie Forthworth, you shall offer a rejoinder to my queries. Why did the Civkit author give a green tail ribbon to the peasant character of Nakfrin, who leads the grand herd in the peregrination of the galaxy?
The disenchanted Loxel sighed. I parted my beak in thought, trying to decide what type of answer would be eloquent enough to appease the Civkit. Perhaps there was some ancestral memory of how the sky was emerald green on Tinsas, so the author's choice of color reflects adventuring upwards and beyond one's world. Nakfrin wants to be out of reach, but his own self has become unreachable in like the sky. The ribbon serves as a reminder throughout his time on the stage. It signals that he and the herd are lost in the stars, no matter how strong-willed the character is.
No, that is absurd, you Assyrian Piscovore. Prithee, could you actually try?
I am trying. What did I say was wrong about the ribbon?
Tassie, you are dim-witted Pycoroon. It is a mere bijou, but you picked the most odious interpretations. Sometimes a color is just a color. Words are just words. There is no grander meaning to extract circumjacent to what's in the pages. I guarantee the author had nothing in mind, writing the color of a ribbon.
I checked that I was recording the conversation, bracing myself to look up more of Loxel's vocabulary, a recurring theme of our sessions. Then why did you ask me about the ribbon? I'm trying to see what you see in it.
I was testing you. You failed. Just like those pathetic human actors who are performing my play. They were supposed to be army-potent, sanguinolent. That's strong and bloodthirsty. You dull-minded bird. It's like talking to a rock with everyone.
Hang on. You got the humans on the Polton base to act out one of your plays. That's really nice of them. I didn't know how they took to your writing, but I'm happy to hear it. How did you get them involved with that?
I promised not to eat garden plants anymore. Those contaminous beasts also made me promise to talk to them like people, whatever that babble means, and to use words they could understand. You predators are so limiting.
I raised a flipper. Maybe just any word you use in a play. Don't use it in speech.
Then people will understand you. People do understand me. I understand me. Am I not a person, you contumely coxcomb? No, Loxel. Of course you're a person. I meant that predators will understand you. I can't believe I'm willingly lumping my kind and the humans together in a separate classification as predators. But reasoning with Loxel is impossible otherwise. It's good that the humans aren't so, sanguinolent, right? Maybe they aren't as eager to eat you as you thought. They are in sooth boring, and hereupon nary a human can act or smite as poltroons, cowards, the lot of them. Why do you say that, Loxel? They agreed to act in your play, and trust me, that took courage. Is it because they did that? No, it is because of how they did it. There, look, how terrible their first rehearsal was. You could have prepped me for sepulture after that, lack-a-day. Somehow, not the first time he used sepulture in relation to himself. Is he basically saying that he was at death's door, ready to be buried from how badly these poor soldiers performed? I couldn't have been that bad, I prodded. They're learning. The Civ Kid's ears entwined, twisting together like cords of rope. These stand-up rats cannot act to save their lives. I don't know how we thought they could swindle or deceive anyone. They won't heed my dictates. They refuse to be interpreted. Look at this travesty. With dread in my heart for his primate victims, I turned my eyes forwards on the video screen. The human who'd spoken to me, referring to Loxwell as the funny bunny, appeared to be playing a speaking role. He was tearing into another actor, though struggling a bit with using some of the words aloud. The opposing hominid waved a dismissive hand before telling Daxrin that he'd be in a facility soon. The man playing Daxrin scrunched his features in rage before arcing his arms towards his counterpart. The punch stopped just short of the other soldier's chin, and he whipped his head back like it hit him, nursing his jaw. Loxel came running into frame. In the present time, the Civkit was covering his eyes with his paws as if he couldn't watch. That wasn't a real punch. I thought predators could handle a basic facile attack, Loxwell hissed at the human, first sticking upright. Daxrin arched his eyebrows with indignation. John sold the punch just fine. You told us in the script to act out a facial attack. Yes, like this, I gasped as Loxwell slammed his paw into the human's jaw with surprising force, making him stagger onto the ground. The primate poured the blood on his chin. He stared at the Civkit in utter disbelief. See the contradistinction? You cannot fake that with your phony chicanery. What the feck? You actually hit me. I'm demonstrating how you can evince your salient bloodlust. Let the animal loose. Go on. Loxwell turned his chin towards the Axman's actor, an expectant look in his beady eyes. Your turn. Swing at me. Gormandizing Venator. I'm not going to hit you. You can't just punch people in the face, Loxwell. It appears I can. You're so inclined to extract a drop of blood. Humans are so grave disappointment. I came hither expecting to meet a species of wrathfulness. Yet you are the most docile, dull, garrulous predators I've ever heard of. I think we're all done here. We might be docile, but we won't take pointless abuse from you. The Terrans are awfully patient, but nobody would expect them to suffer from this Loxwell. I need to convince him to stop being so excessive for his own good. The Civ could stop the video in real time and turned manic eyes towards me. The inchoate scapegraces wouldn't even try to get it right. They ruined my Poltradunia's script. Hold on. These humans were willing to help you bring your play to life, and you punched them in the face for it, I asked incredulously. I did nothing to the fiends that I wasn't willing to subject myself to. But they willing to be subjected to it. I thought you'd be happier that someone is taking an interest. Maybe you should try being nice to them. If you're already convinced they're docile, you don't have to view this like you're being jailed or sacrificed. You could try and make friends. The reproachment is not wanted. I was not the grand herd. Yield as animus, vengeance delivered through the ambuscade, and potency for conquest. They won't do that, but they do want to help you, Loxel. After every alien has tried to screw you over, I think you should appreciate an honest predator who just wants friends. There was a pause from the Civkit. I do. That's why I talk to you. Mayhap I can reevaluate the indefatigable beasts, too. Goodbye, Tassie.
Maxwell disconnected, forcing me to decide whether to approach Dustin, a member of the very species that roped me into this clandestine arrangement. Who else did I have that was an alien friend? I didn't feel especially close to the Thafki or Gojid scientists. I'd be glad when they left the ship at the docking port and ventured off to the SE's governance premises. Drawing a shaky breath, I exited my shuttle with pins and needles in my flippers. My throat was dry, and my stomach felt sick at the thought of turning on Lessman. I hoped General Naltor wouldn't find me before I could locate that xenobiologist, because I wasn't sure how I'd look at Selma with a straight face. A curly head of hair was the first thing I saw, sitting in a chair. I'm not sure whether to feel relief or to feel torn about whether to confide in Dustin Curtis. What if he just makes it worse with Jones, or turns on me as well, when he learns about the involvement with the Oxel?
Tassie,
the Terran enveloped me in a hug, grinning from ear to ear.
Sifkits on Avrana, you succeeded at getting through to them, where we have failed for years. I'm proud of you.
I swallowed the lump in my throat.
Thanks. Look, can we go someplace private, where no one else will overhear? I have to tell you something.
Sure. Back on the ship?
No. It could be bugged with people that were on it. I'm intelligent enough to know they're watching me.
Who? Right. Private venue. The cramped janitor's closet over there?
Sure, Dustin. I hope you won't hate me.
Please. I could never. Something's got you spooked. I've never seen you like this.
The xenobiologist squeezed into the closet, and I shut the door after I followed him in.
Whatever trouble you're in, if someone in the SE is threatening you, we can help.
That someone is humanity.
The Terran blinked in a half-lighting.
What? Our mission is to save you, to ensure your success. We have had our shares with wars and mistakes too, and we don't want you left out in the cold. We want predators to truly be accepted. Why would we wish to harm you?
I don't understand.
It's complicated. Like I said, I know you're going to be upset and disappointed in me, and that I failed everyone. I have nobody else to turn to. Please don't suggest terrible things about me, like Aliska and Nudia.
Hattie and Nudia were demeaning you. That's completely unbecoming of First Contact Party. We're supposed to facilitate trust.
Really? But you left out later, Tassie. I reoriented my focus, forcing myself to tell the story of how Bicems betrayed the people who helped us.
When we went to learn, the Yodel put Bicems in contact with the Oxel. They promised to get us into the SC if we would help the Greys lobby for lifting isolation a long time in the future. It seems like the only way, so I went along with it. Then the war spooked us into getting closer. The Oxel also gave us ships in exchange for us talking with them. We did tell them about the Osas, and that's why they're out here.
No hurt, judgment, or betrayal flashed in the xenobiologist's eyes. His irises swirled with concern. Tassie, that's not something you should be connected with.
I had no idea. I understand why you did it. I mean, I failed in making you feel safe, or understand what a powder keg we're sitting on. There's so much baggage tied to anything Oxel sympathizing. I would know, living on Skulgar and being acquainted to them.
You understand? But you left out a lot of details about the Oxel story. How they saved Earth, how the Federation created them, how they're rebels.
I wanted to protect you, Tassie. But that wasn't fair of me, and it seems it got you into a worse clusterfuck. It wasn't my decision to make, especially when we wanted full transparency. I just, for your own good, I believe that you should have as negative opinion on the Oxel as possible. As carnivals, distancing yourself was the only way to win the SC. They have no intent of ever letting the Greys out. And the Yodel, using you, it boils my blood. That's no way to treat a new species with no bargaining power. They're just like the Federation with their uplifts.
You're on my side. Thank us. I don't know what the feck to do. I don't want to buy some Spanish like the Oxel.
A glimmer of hope flickered in my chest, seeing Dustin worked up on my behalf. Even if I didn't resent how he hadn't given me all the facts, I couldn't deny that it would have been better if we'd never got involved with the Greys.
I never meant for any of this to happen, or for this to go so far. I wish to hers I could take it back.
We'll figure something out, but I need to know what the hell's going on here. You said humanity was threatening you over this.
Yeah, that general with the Terran intelligence. From the briefing aboard of my ship, she knew everything, Dustin. And Aliska and Nudia were with her, saying I betrayed them.
The human Shorlock, I confess. Part of my mission was tiptoeing around Heliska.
The Thafki hate the Oxal. But why Nulia would take part in this boggles my mind, and I am so unspeakably disappointed in my counterparts. We spent decades studying you, cultural sensitivity, and now they're trying to manipulate you for making your own decisions. They'd hurt you personally. I fear I know where this is going.
Jones wants me to spy on the Oxal, the Sifkits, and the Bison to advance humanity's agenda. She threatened to out our meddling to the SC, so we will never have friends. If I tell anyone from Nassman, she'll know, because she intends to do memory scans on me.
And there it is. Fecking pricks. Tassie, that general was bluffing to your face. She's not going to tell the SC. Are you kidding me? You realize how much fire it dumps on the evil predator train, and how much more will be penciled in as an exception? Not to mention, humanity are the ones who wanted to give you a chance. How does that make us look? I'll tell you, dumb and inept, or worse, predators sympathizing. All while we're trying to ally with the Shield, who are looking for any excuse to distrust predators.
I leaned my head back against the wall and re-evaluated Jones's threat against me. The one that had all but forced me to agree to spy against the very Bisons I was loyal to. Dustin had won back my trust simply by telling me that, since I was certain Terran intelligence hadn't wanted me to decipher the reality. I was too trusting of what people said at face value. And it might be time to forcibly crush my naivety. The humans didn't want our involvement in loosening the Oxal to be out in the open. General Jones threatened the one thing I wanted above all else, because it would bend me to her will. She was hoping to control the outcome of the Kaiser's escape, and to put a leash on Nalthor and Zulk's schemes. Elevating anti-predator biases didn't serve either of our species. Jones played me for a fool, and Dustin saw through it in half a second. To think that I would have betrayed Nalthor because I was being used. Is it safe just to back out, or at least to tell my people that humanity knows about our schemes, that they went after me, a scientist?
Dustin crossed his arms, eyes steady. Okay, now you can read between the lines in the Bison angle. What was the end goal of spying on the Oxor and Sifkits? You don't have any direct input in roads with them.
For the Oxor, I think Jones wants to push them to her own targets. She seems to believe that I can influence that. As for the Sifkits, she wants to know how they found out about Tinzas. Someone or something told them.
Those aren't necessarily bad goals, if I'm being honest. The Starlight incident didn't make me fond of the idea of unknowns in the galaxy. Do it only if it's your wish, and it aligns with your aspirations. But Tassie, subterfuge isn't your style, and I won't let you become someone else's pawn. I'd fight for Bisons even if the rest of Earth was against me.
Thank you, Dustin. I wouldn't mind finding out where Loxel got his information, since it impacts the war. I would have done that if I was just asked. Kaiser, I don't want a galactic war, but I wish I could not be involved with the Oxer at all.
It is a little late for Bisons to not be tied to this. However, you don't have to be. I'm surprised Nalthor would bring you into this. Your people need to know all of this, in the spirit of transparency.
But what about Jones? She'd expect reports, and what do I even do now? This is all not what I signed up for.
You just wanted alien friends, I know. She knows that too. The human smiled with sympathy, placing my flipper between his hands. Let me worry about Jones. I'm going to find people in the UN who never would have allowed this, and they'll put her in line. For now, I suggest refusing memory transcripts. Nalthor can make up a bullshit reason for you. We should tell him everything you told me, right now.
Tell Nalthor that I agreed to betray the runner?
You said what you thought you had to. I imagine your Selma friend will be angry at how they took a run at you, and he might be able to control what's sent to Jones through you. If you want to flip the script. A double agent, not betraying your home, but letting her believe she has you.
I'm not sure about crossing humanity or being involved with any of these underhanded maneuvers, but I want to keep a runner safe. I'm loyal to Nassman.
I won't let anyone get their claws in you. I definitely intend to chew out a certain Dafki and Gojit as well. Please, Tassie, trust that humans, we're not all like that. Most of us just want friends, too.
I know that. We share the same enthusiasm for the galaxy, and I do believe the ESC's mission. How you've improved the galaxy, for all of the bad. I want to be a part of it.
I'm not sure how many Bisons will agree with you after this, but I'm glad to hear some optimism. I'm happy you don't hate me, because I've let you down as a friend. I put politics over doing what's right for you as a person. I'm sorry. I swear I'll never wanted anything more than for you to be accepted and safe. We really weren't ready for this first contact."
I tapped open the closet door, patting Dustin on the back. "That's all behind us now. We've both made mistakes, but you're the only alien friend I have. You did what you thought was right during first contact, just like I did with the Arkansas. It happened to blow up in our faces, but neither of us sought that result. I trust you. We'll figure this out."
"That's the spirit. You're not in this alone by a long shot, and I hope you remember that. What do you say we find Nelther and tell him how you're the world's worst spy, friend?"
I chuckled. "When you put it like that, lead the way."
The Terran xenobiologist led me through the SC halls. Word of Arkansas collusion could get out through other means and jeopardize our place in the galaxy, but he'd reassured me Jones had no intent of following through with the threat. I was more than content to leave the scheming to General Naltor, and to hope that he'd trust me to be part of the Bison's galactic future. While I hadn't committed treason, I was worried how the Salma might view me for considering it. However, with Dustin on my side, I felt like there was hope of getting out of this with my dignity intact. He had a plan, and was going to sort out this mess. Bisons had to figure out a way to make this right, and to reckon with the Terran intelligence breathing down our neck feathers. The last thing the galaxy needed was further complications amid the war. The drone fleets had been stalled, but they neared the 3 founding worlds, just as the Civ Kit's hypothesis for the attack's origin predicted. Keeping Iran safe and politically secure was important now more than ever. End of chapter. I would like to thank our T5 members and patrons, Casper Arnholtz, John Creighton, Whitmore, 050, Dragzoon W.R.E, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.